Come in, come in, come in, come in, y'all. I'm just writing down a few things. Oh, let me. Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, y'all. I'm just writing down a few things. Hey, sis! Gotta be a little extra. I gotta wind myself up. I ain't as extra as I normally am today. I feel like. How you been doing? You been doing all right, sis? I'm just writing down a few things, y'all. I'm glad to hear that. Y'all know I'm a little extra. I'm trying to be there. Still feel a little bit tired, so I gotta pump myself on up. I'm, I'm doing all right, sis. Thank you for asking. I just a little tired. That's all. I just been a little tired these last days. I think because the seasons changing and the seasons changing and you can feel everything that's going on. Well, I can feel everything that's going on. So, oh, but thank you for asking. I'm just writing some stuff down, y'all, and we're gonna get started in a minute. Um, I'm just writing some stuff down. Yes, yes, it is. I'm feeling it right now. So yeah, I'm feeling it right now. Yeah, I'm feeling it much. So yeah, it's crazy. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, y'all. Come on in. We just waiting just a few more minutes and then we're gonna go ahead and get started and everybody will come in when, you know, later on as we go. Um, I'm just writing down a few things still, y'all. I know y'all be like, you be saying that every time, girl. I am. I'll be writing down just a few things that coming up to mind. Just a few more moments. Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, y'all. Come in. Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, y'all. Come in. Hold on, we finna get started, y'all. I'm coming right now. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. And again, I always say I'm glad to see y'all and thank y'all for tuning back in. We have something great, something special going on, and thank y'all for tuning back in to Soaring Above It All with Laquanza. Where I always say, with a soaring above it all, it's always gonna be the statement that no matter what you go through and no matter what you face, that you can truly come out on the other side where there's God, on the other side where there's peace, on the other side where Jesus resides. You can truly come out of it. I don't care how deep it is, how dark it is, how nasty or filthy you feel like it could possibly be. God can still meet you right where you are and pick you up out of that. And some people like to believe that you got to do the changing before you get to God. No, you don't do the changing before you get to God. You come to God just as you are, and He's the one that does the changing. He's the one who does the shifting and bringing glory to His name, being as powerful as He is. So, with all of that being said, we have somebody great, somebody special. We got Latoyia Nicholson that will be talking to us tonight about a broken child, a witchcraft hex, and her mental health battles that she deals with and what God is seeing her through and taking care of her with that all. With that being said, I gotta say my things. I met Latoyia Nicholson some years ago. And she is truly being a very, very beautiful person, not just outside, y'all, but she truly has a heart of gold where she would literally give the shirt off of her back for anybody. She would help anybody if they in need. And I just love that about her, and I admire it. I've heard that no matter sometimes how people treat her, she still has this love and compassion for people that is astounding and amazing at the same time. And so, y'all know I gotta say my things. And with that being said, give us a round of applause, clap down in the comment section, and we're gonna welcome Latoyia Nicholson, aka Toka Baby, in the building, y'all. Okay.
Hey, boo.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad to hear that. You look beautiful.
So do you, boo. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, with that being said, I always got to say my things, and I be wanting you to tell them the things that I didn't get to say. Tell us more about who you are. Tell us who you are.
Well, I am a single mother of five. I'm a God fearing woman. I do a little this and that, trying to get back on my feet with it though, cause I done had some challenges. But I mean, other than that, I'm spirit led and just love God.
Yes, yes, you most definitely do. Love him. He's everything, and hey, no matter what, he always showing up, right?
Always on time. He's an on time God.
Yes, he is. Okay, so with that being said, you told us some more about yourself. Now, we're gonna do an icebreaker. And so the icebreaker is tell us something that you love to do for fun and why.
Okay, well, I love to do music for fun, and it's my scapegoat. It helped me clear my mind. Well, I basically love to write more than anything, and it helps
Mhm.
clear my mind, and it's something fun to do for me and relax me and things such as that.
Okay, so that's good. So what is it that you're writing?
Well, right now I'm still working on my book, The Unexplained Reasons for Insanity. I thought I had it finished, but there's some more stuff I want to add to it, and so I'm
Oh,
doing it now. I haven't
okay.
worked in a minute. I got to get back to that. So
You will. It just take just 10 minutes. That's all it takes. Then the 10 minutes always turn out more than 10 minutes every time.
right.
Always, never fails. So with all of that being said, you told us something that you like to do, which is right because it soothes you. It helps you be able to process of whatever you're going through or whatever you're facing. So, with all of that being said, I guess we can get into the meat of it. So, tell us about little Toka or little Latoyia.
Well, when I was born, my mom and my dad denied me, so he wanted to get a blood test. And when we got the blood test, he still denied me after it came back that it was 99.9%. I was his. He said people have the same blood. So I was just when my mom told me that, I was like, oh my God, that's embarrassing. Like I was say
Yeah, like what you mean?
but I'm ashamed to even say that he said that, but that's what he said, and that started off with my rejection and stuff and questions, and I always wanted to get to know him. So when I was growing up, I would try when I got old enough to go visit him myself as a little girl, as a girl still. I would go visit him and his mom, and they'll let me come in, but he still would say he's not my dad. And but he would tell me he would be there for me, but he never did, and that caused a lot of confusion and rejection in my life, and made me want to know why he denied me and things such as that. And then as I got older, I figured out that God was my father because
Mm,
he has always been there for me. I always, as a little kid, I would read the Bible to the kids out in the street in my neighborhood. We would sit
yeah,
down, I read the Bible and preach to them because I wanted to be a preacher.
yeah,
And things such as that, and God reminded me all the time that he my father, and that if my father and mother forsake me, he'll be there for me. So that got
yes.
that really helped me out because I really, really wanted to know my dad. I really did. Like my sisters and brothers had their dad, but I didn't have my dad in my life. So when God was telling me, I'm your father, I really took hold of that because if it wasn't for God, I don't even know where I'd be at right now. You know what I mean?
Yes. But talk about some of the, I know rejection, but talk about some of the feelings that you felt with that rejection and feeling kind of like, um, ostracized because he did have other children, right?
Yes, he had other kids and they didn't deny me. They was in my life. I felt heartbroken. I felt like, what's wrong with me? And is something wrong with me? Why he got to deny me? You know what I mean? I didn't do
Yeah.
nothing. Um, I felt lonely. And I would see my brother and my sister with their dad, and they would let me go with them, of course. But I felt like the missing link. I felt like a black sheep because I didn't have my dad.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, it does, play a significant part on, how people feel about themselves and how they feel received and even with friendships too. Just that one missing link can affect so many other things that you didn't even know that it was a hindrance there, but it can at the same time. So like when you say like so was it just like continuously just like reaching out to him, or how did that
Yeah.
kind of like?
Well, when I got old enough in high school, I would walk from Greenville High School to his house because he stayed in West Greenville, so he didn't stay that far from Greenville High School.
Mhm.
And I would go as much as I could. Sometimes I missed the bus on purpose to walk over there. And my cousin accepted me, and me and her around the same age. And I would just go over there, and I felt like he didn't. It wasn't no like feeling, like he didn't have no feelings towards me. Like I was just a nobody. The way he just acted, you know what I mean? Him and his mom, and that. But I would still go all the time. I would still go over there as much as I can to just be around him because I didn't have, I wanted me and him to have a relationship. But he to this day he still feel like I'm not his daughter, and we got
But
to.
even being a young person, like how did it literally like make you feel? Like what was your like feelings? Because heartbroken, but like I know it was like did it come up? Did you I know it's asking the question, and like do you ever like ask him even now to this day like what happened? What's wrong?
He basically actually talked to him today about my car. I called him and he answered the phone, but he basically just denied it because I don't know if he felt ashamed or embarrassed by it or what. He just can't wrap his mind around that I'm his daughter. I don't know why. He don't never say why. He just be like, we all got the same blood. I'm sorry, that is just embarrassing. But he don't ever say why. He just deny me. I don't know. I offered to get another test done, and one time me and my mama went to out to eat with him, and we was talking, and because I really want him in my life, you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
we was supposed to get another blood test done, even though it came back that I was his. I mean, he even got put on child support behind it, but we never got it done. Now, I'm willing to do it now, still to this day, if we could. But
Wow.
I don't know. But like I said, excuse me, even in that, God has been with me the whole time. He
Oh
has,
yeah.
yeah, he has been with me the whole time, even though my daddy denied me, still to this day, God has truly been my father. He has
Oh,
really
yeah.
been.
Most definitely, and even by you saying that, that's a major point right there, because even for my son, with Jalen, his daddy wasn't ever really like in his life like that, and I remember like some years ago, because it's a profound that when you make that connection and you say, you know what, God gonna be my father. And years ago when I had went to redemption, I remember that day I guess kind of being sad. I think it might have been Mother's Day or Father's Day. I can't remember. I want to say it was Mother's Day, and I remember him saying that the best parent that a child could have is the Lord, even though you want your parent there. That's not, you want that connection, you want that love, you want your parents to be there and be accepting of you at the same time. And Pastor April said, "Do you address him as dad?"
No, I don't. I call him by his name because it
Oh,
it feels it feels too funny to say dad because he done denied me. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
can't. I call God my father, literally Father God. Like I
yeah,
call him my father because the fact that he denied me so much and for so long, it's hard to call him dad because he don't acknowledge me as his daughter. So
yeah,
call him by his name.
yeah. I understand. And Apostle said, "Well, baby, you are a precious jewel." That's the
Oh,
truth.
to
Yes.
God be the glory. Thank you. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to call him dad when he ain't played a role in his role in my life. You know what I mean? I'm shocked he answered the phone today because I actually called him today. I went trying to do it on the day we was having this podcast, but something going on with my car, and he a mechanic, and I asked him a couple of questions and he answered them, and we got off the phone. I asked him how he was doing and stuff, of course, and he was telling me some things, but it's still just the connection out there.
No
He
connection.
it's just no connection.
Yeah,
But
because obviously at this point, if you done did it ever since you've been a little girl, and I always feel, and I'm just I always felt like that. I don't feel like children should have to. Well, when you get older, you can make your own choices, but I never felt like kids have to be the ones to reach out to the parents. That is just inconsiderate and unnecessary. You don't have to be the one to continuously reach out to a parent. Now, when you turn 18, that's a different story. But as a kid, because yeah, that's just like putting yourself into the fire, even though you want something, putting yourself into the fire to get hurt over and over again. And I am saying that had to, you had to face that and go through that. And me knowing the mama that you are and how you love your kids so much, is just, you know um the thing that you didn't get, even though you got God as your father. I mean, you give your kids like unconditional love. So that right there, all in itself, even though you miss something, to still give it back. um did you ever feel like not having your daddy around, like kind of like affected some of like your relationships maybe that you had? It could be either or with people or either or with men.
um yeah, I first of all, it gave me a low self-esteem that my daddy went in my life. I will say that. So I would, when I got in relationships, I would look to them as a father figure, kind of. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, and I would, you know, I would try my best to please them so they can stay in my life. You know what I mean? Because
Oh yeah.
very
Yeah.
hard for me. And I wanted to say this: my mama didn't even know I was going over there. She didn't even know because she probably would have put a stop on. I was going over there without her permission, trying to talk to my
Yeah.
dad. So I'm
Oh,
say that she did not know that for a long
oh.
time. I told her. But
And
yeah,
what you think when you had told her, like,
she was
were you
like,
like older, or were you like, like still younger but knew what it was going on?
I told her probably when I was like 18 or something like that. And I told her I used to go over there from school and walk home. And I told her how he would just act like nonchalant, like he didn't even, you know, care. And I
Mhm.
asked why he claimed me, I mean, deny me, but claim the other kids. And he couldn't even answer that question. You know what I'm saying? But my mama was just like, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't know you was doing that. And of
Yeah,
course, like if I would have known, I would have not let you do it. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah,
she just was upset that he denied me. And she
oh,
knew. And we got that blood test, and he still denied me. That was
yeah,
I should have took counseling for that, cause
yeah,
I was seeking my daddy real hard as a kid and a teenager. I was seeking him. And like I say in relationships, I would try to do anything to please them so they wouldn't walk out my life. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah.
Clingy, uh, and stuff like that. But it's better now. I'm doing a lot better with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's just to be able to give insight that sometimes the things that we face as children and we face as children, it do walk with us throughout life, and it does show up throughout life in many different ways, in many different forms, and through many different relationships. So is there something else that you want to share with us, just to tell us more about you? It could be either a good or bad experience, or something that you learned from something that you walked through but you endured.
Um, well, when I got older, I as a teenager, I got pregnant as a teenager.
Hmm.
Um, my first got pregnant at 16 and then had him at 17, and then turned around again and had got pregnant at 17 and had the other baby at 18. But I was really like, well, I would say this: I did get molested when I was like 12, and it made me kind of, what's that word? Promiscuous,
Yeah,
promiscuous.
promiscuous.
Yeah, um,
Promiscuous.
yeah. I think it was the reason why I had got molested because I was looking at him as a dad too. It was my mom's boyfriend at the time, and he would show interest, talk to me and stuff like that, and then one day that happened, and I don't want to go into details, but
Mhm.
he
That's
really
fine.
he molested me or whatever, and it made me curious about boys even more and stuff like that, and I was
Hmm.
looking for love in all the wrong places and stuff like that as well, and I end up getting pregnant. And but it was a lesson learned. I love my babies, but as a teenage mom, you gotta focus on your kids. You can't do nothing. You know what I mean? You gotta be there 110%, because them your lives you take care of. And I would tell any girl that, don't rush love and don't rush sex. You know what I mean? Just be patient and wait on God for your God fearing husband. Cause that's the thing I regret. I didn't wait. And I lost my virginity at 16 and got pregnant.
Oh wow. And Apostle said that you were looking for his approval. And Pastor April said, "Oh gosh," and Minister Danielle sis said, "Oh God, oh goodness." So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I guess that just how it happened, like you said, with the young ladies, being a teenage mom. And the one thing that I be wanting to make clear, because we know it as moms, that no matter what the daddy do or don't do, we still are the mamas. We
Mm,
still gotta take care of the babies. We still gotta make sure they fed. We gotta make sure they good. You get what I'm saying? Like we
yeah.
have to. It's a necessity that whatever they don't do, that we do, whether they there or they not, we still are the parent that the kid look to because we are the mom, the
And
nurturer. You know?
my aunt, the rest of soul, she used to say, "Mama's baby, daddy's maybe." That means that it's mama's baby, daddy may be in the picture, may not be in the picture, but it's mama baby. So you got to take care of the kid
Oh
without
yeah,
the dad. Mama's
yeah.
baby's mm. And that she made a, and my mama went one of them type of grandmas that'll be, she'd be like, I watch them when I want to watch. I'd be like, oh Lord, she told me that from the beginning. Don't expect just, you know, do what
You said
And she did that too. I just shoot. Mama had me raising them my kids. Shoot, she was like, you know how mama is.
that's why I'm laughing. I know, boo. Wow. So yeah, it's like a. So
She,
tell us, like, when
she,
you say the things you had to give up, like, what all did you have to walk away from? Because I don't know. I don't know if people realize how much you have to walk away from as a parent, being a young parent, which um I um I had children at 16, but of course, you already know my children did not. My children did not live past. They didn't be able to live on this side,
right.
so that was a different thing. But I was a teenage mom still when I got older. But tell us, being 16, it's your first time being a mom. Tell us some of your experiences that you're facing because it is it's serious.
Well, it is for one, it's scary because the whole life is in your hand. You know what I mean? Like you got to make sure that baby okay 24/7, and you
Yeah,
lose privileges of going out with your friends. Well, for the most part, most females do, teenagers do. Now, some of them do still be wild and give their baby to their mom to help take care of and stuff. But for the most part, you lose your privileges. You can't do this. You can't do that. You got a daughter, so you really responsible. That's a real big responsibility, and
yeah.
it's not easy because waking up in the middle of the night. My oldest son had colic, so he would cry 24/7, and it was terrible. And I went to teen parent, so I learned a couple of things. They say if you done changed them, done fed them, took him a bath, all that, and he's still crying, sometimes you just gotta walk out. So sometimes I would have to walk out from being frustrated with him crying. So that could be a possibility. Anything can happen. You just gotta be on it. And you responsible. You responsible for that baby life. And then I
Yeah.
missed him at two back to back. So
Yes.
it was a lot of pressure, but the mama role will kick in. It comes natural. It comes.
It, yes, most of it, yeah, it will kick in. It matter to my I probably was I not probably I was the parent that was still living my life even after
Uh,
I had my son. So I'm one of them ones. That's me.
my,
You was talking about me. Hey, Mama and Daddy had him. He was the first grandchild, first living grandchild, not the first grandchild. So hey, I ain't have to worry about a babysitter. For my sisters, I don't know about them, but but for me, I didn't have to worry about it. So yeah, but you do still have to give up yourself. So many things.
you have to give up
Now,
yourself.
Padilla said, as a victim of sexual assault is not your fault, and being promiscuous was not your fault. Unfortunately, our bodies was awakened and didn't know we were. Though, yeah, yeah, didn't
Yeah,
even know it. You like you on go, and you don't know why you got all these tingly feelings and
yeah.
and things coming, that things going on,
Right.
so yeah, and you have to feed it at a certain time. So the high school we thought we were cute. So somebody tell we pretty, we be on it, huh?
My kids, that he was a gentleman, and he tried to be there at the beginning real good. He got us a place to stay and everything. So I was fortunate for that. But it didn't the relationship didn't work out, so I ended up having to move back with my mama. But like I said, my mama, I was on my own. If it wasn't for my Aunt Trina, honey, cause my mama, she'd go play her bingo. Dude, she'd be like, gone. Being up by myself, kids and stuff. But yeah, it was, you be tell her thank you for that, because that's true. I didn't. Was just open up my, I guess my body awoken or whatever, and awaken or whatever. But if I
Sometimes
can,
don't even you get awakened to something. You get awakened to something that is prematurely. It opens you up, and it does open you up sexually, and it causes you to just be more curious about things and be you know
yeah, definitely. But I love my kids, and if I can go back, I guess I wouldn't have it no other way, because it taught me to grow up early or whatever, and no
yeah.
and things like that. But after I had my two oldest babies, I waited 3 years, and then I met a guy, and like I said, I had a low self-esteem, because
Mhm.
he was way younger than me and stuff, but I liked him, and like he made me laugh or whatever, and then I ended up having 3 kids by him. And at 23 I had to get my tubes tied, because I had cesareans back to back, oh 06, oh 07, and oh 08. So the doctor said that, you know, that's dangerous for my body, because that it haven't healed yet. And so he made the decision to tie my tube, so I can't have no more babies. And I feel sad about that, because if I, when I get married, I would want to give my husband a baby, but
Mhm.
you know, it didn't work out. God didn't see fit for it to work out like that. But you never know with him. He might make you have a baby with your tubes.
Oh yeah, most definitely. They can untie him, can't they?
I don't even know what I saw my tubes. He showed me my tubes. He showed me a cup. He said, "You see this? No more babies." So,
Oh, okay. So your tubes is removed completely.
he
Oh wow.
removed them. Yeah. So I don't know. They some people say they can grow back, but I don't know. I ain't worried
What?
about. Yeah, I heard that they can grow back, but I don't know.
Oh wow. So, but well, having the desire to have more kids, and not, being able to have more kids, because I know you did have said too that, I mean, it was dangerous, not just dangerous, but it was life threatening. The
Mhm.
reason of why you were not able to um keep going from that moment. Um, so that is a big thing right there. And
Yeah.
Dia said, by the way, ladies, you're amazing. Oh, to God be the glory. You too.
Oh,
You
you.
too. You too. That was Kadia. And Pastor April said, Naya said, that's me. Not watching those grandbabies too quick.
I'm,
Hey, watching those the grandbabies too quick. And Apostle said, this is how so many of us end up with the spirit of perversion. I can't, the spirit of That is how so many of us end up with the spirit of perversion, and then start acting out what we feel. Yes, ma'am. That's showing up the truth. You start acting out, and you start doing those things that I mean, that
I mean,
you probably don't want to, but it's on. you know.
Exactly, because when I got molested, I went outside the same day and I got rebellious towards God. I started cussing. I felt so convicted, like I never
Oh,
cussed before, and I was just cussing and I was just mad, and it made me see grown-ups different. Like I was like, dang, like how can somebody do this to a kid? Because I remember him telling me when I jumped up or whatever. I ain't going into details of what he did, but when I jumped up or whatever and I ran, and I said, I'm gonna tell my mom, and he said, who you think she gonna believe, you or me? And that confused me. I was
yeah.
like, I don't even know who should believe. Not saying my mama wouldn't believe me, but he confused me when he did that. So I didn't even tell my mama. I told the school, a teacher, and the teacher got DSS involved. You know how that go. But my mama
Oh, yeah.
didn't. So it make you do a lot of different things. I was kind of upset with God about it, and I was cussing, and I felt so bad. I had never just cussed like that, and it just made me be different. And I remember when I got pregnant with my first son, my brother Jaricus was crying. He talking about, you supposed to be a preacher. So yeah,
Oh,
so upset, and I was like, I know I still can be a preacher. But
yeah.
yeah, that because me getting molested, being the way I was afterwards, it made me be curious or whatever, and I end up, messing around with my baby daddy and got pregnant. And it made me think I couldn't. I was kind of feeling the same way, like, dang, I just broke a thing with God, just losing my virginity and getting pregnant. I felt so bad, but God don't make no mistakes. The kids wasn't no mistake. You know what I mean? So
Oh, most definitely.
they are
Kids
blessed.
be blessings.
They big kids now though, but I love them.
They grown kids.
Yeah.
They taller than me. I'm like this.
Hey, y'all so much taller than me. Like, when did it become this way, Lord? And my daughter
Like
think,
I'm child. It was like overnight though. It was like
yeah,
overnight.
they got it overnight, and my daughter thinks she my mama. So
That's what the kid is.
I got a little diva.
Huh?
I said I got a little diva. She thinks she my mama, but I love that girl.
Yeah, that is and later baby. Well, she
Yeah,
not a baby no more, but she, she the baby girl. So,
I got
um,
one girl in that order. That, and you know what? This how God's so good, because I prayed for each gender. I said, God, every time I got pregnant, I was like, God, let it be a boy. I said that 4 times every time I got pregnant. Then when I realized the doctor said he was gonna have to tie my tubes. I was like, Lord, please let it be a girl. And it was a girl, so I got everything I asked for, but them boys rough, boy. I don't know what I don't know what I was thinking, because honey, they grow up the way they raised and be fighting in the house and stuff, like wrestling and stuff, and big
you know
pile of
how it is.
but I wouldn't trade them for the world though.
Yeah, most definitely. So with that being said, and I know you talked about, being a teenage mom and being a teenage mom and the things that happen, while being a teenage mom and having to be able to, you know, um, change your whole lifestyle and change the way that you went about life in general. And is there something else that you would like say, or is there something else that come to mind?
I just say, just wait on the Lord with losing your virginity and stuff. Pray to God, and wait on him to send you somebody, because and a lot of girls be looking for love in all the wrong places and end up having kids out of wedlock and end up having to take care of the kids by themselves and stuff like that. So if I could do it again, I would still be a virgin until I got married though, and then had my kids. That's the only thing I regret is rushing and trying to start a family so early, because I feel like since I didn't have my dad in my life, I felt like I could have my own family. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so I think that was another reason why I ended up getting pregnant, because I was rushing it. You know what I'm saying? So um just don't rush, don't be in a hurry, and when it's time it will happen. Gotta make it happen right on time. But no
Okay.
baby mistakes. I didn't believe in abortions. I know some people do.
Hmm.
One of my members asked me, told me that they'll pay for an abortion for me, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I laid down and got pregnant, and now I'm finna go through this because either way it go, a miscarriage will hurt, C-section will hurt, having vaginally will hurt, abortion will hurt. So I might as well just have my baby. But
Yeah.
yeah, I cried every time my babies came in the world though, because I was sad that one day we gotta separate again. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
I cried like a baby with every single one of my kids when they was born.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Pastor Avery, I said that, but got girls.
Um,
She said she put up a prayer too, but she got the opposite. So that's understood. So yes, and I mean it is very, very important that young ladies know that. But sometimes I'd be like, well, what do you say about an oversexed, over perverted? Because a lot of the things that I know, we had some ratchet music, we did have some ratchet music, but now it's like everything is geared to sex, using your body, being able to position yourself in a certain way. So like what would, not even just the waiting on the God, so but sex is right before your eyes, like what would you say to a young lady? Of course, we can tell them our experience and we can tell them, but sometimes the best way for some people to learn is the hard way. And you hate to say that because you can tell them, you can warn them, and every single thing, but everybody make their own choices on what they want to do. And sex is everywhere. It really is everywhere. Like overly sexed, like crazy. And I, it wasn't like that when we was, it wasn't, it was sex around, but I
but
don't think it was so in your face like it was when we was, like
yeah,
when
because
we
they
was.
got, it's not to interrupt you, but yeah, because they got social media now. You know what I mean? And everything everywhere, cable and TV don't get cut off. Back in my day, I hate to say back in my day like I'm just old, but back in my day, the TV would get turned off at a certain time. I'm talking about literally the air cut it off. What you laughing at, boo?
I was thinking that too when you said back in my day. We ain't that old.
No, we not.
Oh,
I I remember the TV literally shutting off and it'd be a fuzzy little thing on the screen and you can't watch it no more. And that was time for bed. Now it's 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Endless
oh,
TV. You know what I'm saying? And then you can say whatever you want to say on the radio, like as far as music and stuff. You just gotta stay prayed up and trust God and know that he's real and seek his face because he coming back soon, and I would hate to go to hell, you know what I mean, behind this stuff, things such as that, but that's another subject. But
that is. That's a whole nother subject. Let us just say.
I ain't no preacher, so I'm gonna get off of that. But it's they teenagers got a lot of social media. Kids, they got. I watch this little baby all the time, and he be on his tablet 24/7. He know how to. He ain't nothing but like 2 or 3. He know how to work it and everything, and take it from him. He gonna scream. He gonna.
Yes.
So they got a
Yeah.
lot of apps to a lot of stuff now that we didn't have. You can either use it for good or evil.
Yeah, it
That,
with everything.
with everything
Um,
for good or
with everything on that, you can it is either or.
it's dark.
Um, yeah, it's either or. And now you said, especially now, sexual stuff all over social media. Yes, it is. It's like overly overwhelming that I guess maybe our kids when they were little, they wasn't raised up on phones. They got phones when they got older, but when they were small and younger, they didn't have no cell phones to just have right in their face. Now, you remember last year when we had the hurricane had hit, and I
Mm.
didn't realize how much we need Wi-Fi to do
Yeah,
everything.
right,
I we need Wi-Fi for every doggone thing. I
right.
mean everything, and I didn't even realize it to that very moment. So, Pastor April said we are getting old. They said, Naya said, really don't know what the kids watching or seeing on social media now. You don't. And
Mm.
the Pickens said after the news, I remember they fired one of the new ladies behind something she said on air. Yeah, well, yeah, 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 yeah,
Mm.
that, but now it's just, in every single platform that you go through, they get ratcheter and ratcheter.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a word. And Sister
But,
Sandra said,
oh, go ahead.
um, Sister Sandra said, Laquanza Robinson, you are absolutely correct. I wasn't innocent, but I wasn't out there like that either. But I will say, for me, if it was self-esteem issues, I did not know or realize my self-worth. That's the truth.
Hey,
At my teenage years, and would give the boys what they wanted, thinking that's what I was supposed to do. And the next thing I know, the whole school was talking. Come on now, I understand. Yep, whole school talking about you, talking about you like a dog,
mm,
like a doggone dog.
mm,
Yeah, because
mm.
they ask and beg, you give in, and then they tell everybody.
Like,
I mean, everybody, what you doing, what's going on, and it's a crying doggone shame. But it's just, I guess being young, and then you do try to tell the young ladies, but it's like it's just in their face.
it's in their face, and they gonna make their own decision and stuff. And it depends on if they've been raised up by God, because it say train a child the way it should go, and when he get older, he'll never depart. If I'm saying it right, um, the see they'll go back to God or whatever. So that's what I try to do with my kids. I try to tell them about God. Layla, she read the Bible and stuff, and she got a little boyfriend or whatever, but she really be trying to seek God face, and I love that about her. That she rather read the Bible with her boyfriend than be doing other stuff. So I'm glad that she does that or whatever. But you gotta just train them up the way they should go, and then they won't depart when they get older. You know what I'm saying? And I knew God, but I felt short. And like I said, I was really rebellious when I got molested. I really went and I was kind of mad at God. So I was just thinking about self and having my own family and stuff like that. But you know,
I don't know. So, but yeah, and yes, Anaya, they'll talk a good game. Well, I was a little bit of a thuggish, so I was masculine. I feel like I had a man's mentality. So when I say a man's mentality, like we ain't finna play a game back and forth. I know what I want. You gonna get what you want, and then we gonna call
oh,
it quit. And I won't think about you two seconds afterwards because that feeling that come over you. Y'all know that feeling. I was but but you don't realize what you actually entertaining or getting into. So, but I was thugging it. I can't even act like I some of it I was innocent, and then the other parts I had participation in. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna move on to we're gonna move on to the okay, so with all of that, all of the process, learning from being a young lady and being a young lady that has been sexually open, and you having experiences, and you said that you still had low self-esteem even in the midst of the experiences, because of the father, start with the rejection and start with ejection, and then having other desires as well too.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, so is there something else that comes to mind that you would want to share with us, that because what we do, we share our stories so other people may hear it and know that you can come out of it, that even if you're in it, even at that moment, that it you could come out of it, that that I had an experience, I had a life, I had things that I did and things that I enjoyed in things that I participated in, but it's all to tell people of this is what I did. So it's not hard for you to get to a place or for you to accept God wherever you are. So is there like something else that you experienced that was traumatic to you, that was it caused you to look at life in a different way?
Well, when I had my going into this, I might as well go into the story this way. When I had my fourth baby, I had postpartum depression, and that's another thing I wanted to tell the teenagers and stuff. Postpartum depression is real. You got to be careful with that. It's even if you're not a teenager, a mom. I
Mhm.
went to the doctor one day and I was telling him how I feel, and he was like, "You having postpartum depression?" And I was like, "What?" He said, "Take these pills," and I was like, "I'm not taking up pills. I don't. What you mean? I got postpartum depression?" Because I just I was in denial about it.
Mhm.
So that was with my fourth baby. Yeah, I had them back to back so quick too, and that can affect you or whatever. So that caused me to have postpartum depression, and I did not take my medicine. So it went into mental health. So can we talk about that now? Or
Hold on. I want to ask this question. So, what were some of the things that you were experiencing? Give us in depth detail of what you was experiencing when you say postpartum depression.
well, I was really, really
Doing something in order for the doctor to say, "Well, this is what that is."
well, I was really feeling low because I had, for one, my body was feeling different because I had got a second cut and it wasn't even in 12 months worth of time. And I was feeling
Mhm.
feel my body just was feeling real different. I felt gross. Like I could feel the inside of the cut or something. I can't explain it. And then and so then my baby daddy, he was doing what he wanted to do. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. He went in my kid's life like that. And that had me feeling really low. Like low. How low can you go? You know what I mean? And I was telling the doctor that I was kind of crying to him about that. I was like, I got his second baby and he not in their life like that. How I want him to be in. I was just telling the doctor about all that, and that's when he was like, "You dealing with postpartum depression." And I told him also that I didn't really have my baby because I couldn't even just really just deal with him. My aunt Trina ended up moving in with me, so she had the baby the whole time. I was telling the doctor that too, and he was like, "Yeah, that's postpartum depression." But I just was in denial about it. I was like, I got no postpartum. I'm not finna take no pills. Cause it just seemed like there was something awful to me or something to have or whatever. But it really it really wasn't. The postpartum depression is real. It can get real terrible if you don't treat it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And even on that part of, I believe I had postpartum depression, but didn't even know that that's what it was, postpartum depression, because I think I come from a family of, ain't nothing wrong with you. We don't believe in therapists. We ain't talking about nobody. We're not talking to nobody about our issues, and didn't even know it. So thank God at least they noticed it and said something to you. So did you ever eventually start taking your medicine, or was it like you still was like no?
I never took it. I never took it not one time. And I was just because I was really in denial. But I and then it was stuff happening around me with my kids and stuff like that, my older kids and they daddy and a little drama here and there. And then I was going to church. I was seeking God so hard at the same time and trying to raise my four kids at the age of 22. Four kids at 22. And I was doing it all by myself. And it was, and like I said, the way my body felt, I just didn't feel right. Like it was just too much.
Yeah, you change in more ways than one, and you're already emotional as you're pregnant. Everything is heightened then, emotional, and I probably could, yeah, you cry. I probably cried to myself though. I was thugging it. I wasn't letting nobody see me cry too quick. I
Poor
didn't
thug.
believe I ain't believing none of that. I probably was off to the side to myself. Teresa Pickney said, nobody tells you about all the changes you go through after having a baby. That's the truth.
Right.
They don't tell you that, and that stuff is really happening. But thank God that people are more aware now than probably were the time that we had came from, the
Mm.
years back then where we had came out of. People are more aware now. People believe in therapy. People believe in certain stuff, and
Med-
believe in medicine, of course. Um, so you're going through the changes, and you said that you felt different. You felt off after having your fourth baby.
yeah.
Um, So go into more details. Tell us more about like what you were feeling, what you were going through. What was
I just felt like I was disconnected from my fourth baby. Like I I didn't have no emotions towards him. He was cute and stuff, but I didn't think he was cute. I said he wasn't cute and he looked like his grandma on his daddy's side. I remember my brother then he asked me, my brother said, "Is you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." They were saying that I was acting different too. My family could see it. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay," but he looked just like his grandma on his daddy's side. You beautiful if you're watching this, but I just he just reminded me, and I just didn't feel no connection with him like I did with my other kids. I just off. I was really off. And I don't understand to this day, other than them saying it was postpartum depression, because my aunt Trina would have my baby, and I love my baby. That's my baby boy. That's my dog right there. But when I was going through it, I did not have no connection with my baby whatsoever. And he stayed up under my aunt Trina most of the time, and I would be in my room, and my body would just feel so terrible, like the way the cut feel and everything, like it was just mm. I remember like it was yesterday. And so yeah, it was It was terrible. And my family noticed that I was acting different too about it.
Oh wow. So they noticed that you were um going through the changes and going through the changes, and so it was real apparent that what was happening to you
Mm,
um with your fourth child.
yeah. I think I had them at the back too much too quick, and it hit me real hard. And plus my baby daddy not being in my life, and or he would come around but he wasn't there like he should be, and it was just too much. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, no, that's
But I
understandable.
don't want to hurt my kids or nothing like that. I just feel but people do now. People,
Mhm.
some people have postpartum depression and hurt their kids, you know,
Oh
and hurt themselves. But I never took it that far. I ain't never felt like that. But I just was just a little kind of aloof with my baby. Like I just couldn't connect with him. It was just a void or something. I don't know how to explain it, but other than postpartum depression, because as soon as I had him, that's when I had my nervous breakdown. I think that it played a role in having my fourth baby, having all them kids back to back and not taking a break. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, let your body properly heal.
They say it
And
takes 10 years for a cut to heal per cut. And I got mine a cut '06, '07, and '08. So it was just that, and then it went a year apart with my two boys. So it went even 12 months when I had got another cut. You know what I'm saying? So it play a big toll on your body for real.
oh yeah, so you wanted to go into like the next part of, because we had prior had the conversation about um if it was a witchcraft hex or actually being in postpartum depression, but both of them at the same time. So you want to go ahead and build up to that
Yeah,
point?
yeah. So after I had my fourth baby, my aunt was dealing with him and helping me out with the kids a lot. And I was going to church a lot. At Redemption, I was going to Redemption and taking my kids to Redemption, and it was a lot of different religious people coming to me at my house, like the Mormons, Jehovah Witnesses, atheists. Because one of my brothers is an atheist, and he was talking to me about God and how he didn't believe, and then non-denominational. So it's a lot of people coming, asking me questions about God and wanting to talk to me about God, and I was going to church too. So this neighbor of mine that stayed next door, she would ask me questions too. One time she asked me why was God spelled dog backwards. And I was like, huh? I never thought of that. And she was like, yeah, why is God name spelled dog backwards? And I couldn't answer her. And I remember
Mhm.
her inviting me to her house, and she had a dream catcher on her bed, because I was feeling, by this time I was feeling real weak. My aunt had moved out, but she was still coming to see me. And I was like, the girl let me come to her house, the neighbor, and lay on her bed because I was feeling real weak. I didn't have my kids. And so it was a dream catcher above the bed. And I remember I couldn't get no sleep though in her house. And my grandma called me on my cell phone. Remember we had them little flip phones? This has been
I had an oyster. Yeah.
grandma called me on my phone, rest her soul, and she was like, "Baby, what's wrong?" I said, "Grandma, I'm seeing I saw the spider in the crack of my wall and it go in and go out." And she was like, "Baby, read Psalm 70." And I was like, "Grandma, why you telling me to read Psalm 70?" And she was like, "Baby, just read it. I'm gonna call you back." She hung up. So I told the girl, I said, "I want to go to my house," but I was real weak. I wasn't eating, and at this point I wasn't getting no sleep. So it's like my body was automatically fasting, and then my body wasn't going to sleep. So them are two bad combinations to have when you're dealing with a breakdown. And so she took me to the house, to my house next door, and I laid on the bed and I asked her, could she fix me something to drink? And she said, yeah. So she fixed me some water, and then she brought it back and it had a white spot on it. And I was like, this got a white spot on it. And she was like, well, it's clean, ain't nothing on it. I don't see nothing. And I looked again and I didn't see the white spot. So I drunk it, but it tastes funny. So I set it on my cabinet on my nightstand. And then I turned over and I was praying to God to let me go to sleep. And then I turned back over and I saw an upside down spider in the glass. And I said, what? And it
Yeah.
scared me. A upside down spider was going like this with his legs in the
Yeah.
glass. And the girl had left by then. And then I started saying, God, please help me get rid of this. And I got the strength to get up and get the glass. And I threw it outside. And when I threw it outside, the glass shattered and it was like spider webs went everywhere. So I don't
Oh,
know. Yeah. And so one day, a couple of days after this, my Aunt Trina and Aunt Robin came up there. Aunt Robin was she's special. You know your auntie Aunt Robin, she's special. She lived
yeah.
her job. God sent her up there. And then I was like, Aunt Trina came in the house and Aunt Robin was about to come and my body started going like this, calling Aunt Robin a witch. I was like, you a witch, get away from me. And she was like, I'm not no witch. I said, you a witch. And then I go back in the house with Aunt Trina. And Aunt Trina was crying by this time. She said, Toka, what's wrong with you? I said, I was just telling her all kind of stuff that was racing through my mind. And I go back again and Robin to try to talk to me and I'll call her a witch again. And then a neighbor said, she said you're a witch. And Robin said, you better go back in this house before you because you ain't gonna want to see this or something. She said it was funny. And and then
Mhm.
my then I called her witch again, and then I was going back to the house, and then I felt something like a bell ring, like ding, and my body fell. And my Trina was coming outside at this time, and they helped me walk me to the car. And Aunt Robin hands was like fire, and she said she holy all at me, and I didn't even know that. And then she anointed my house, and she said anybody who don't mean you no good will not be able to step foot in the house. So the girl and the boyfriend tried to come in there, but they couldn't come in. They did not come.
Mhm.
And then he did. It was near 4th of July. He had a firework, and I remember him running behind my house, and it scared me. Robin said, "Yeah, he want to come in, but he can't come in." So they did some witchcraft stuff to me because she was asking me all kind of questions about the Bible. I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but they were into that kind of stuff, and that's what they did to me. And I feel like witchcraft is real, and you got to be careful who you invite in your house and who you talk to and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that happened to me when I was sick, and I ended up going to the mental hospital. This was in 2007 when it all started. And so I had to get committed, and they put me on medicine. And I wouldn't take the medicine after I would leave, but I was missing my kids, so I took the medicine in the mental hospital because I was like,
Yeah.
because if you don't take that medicine, if you show
Mhm.
any emotion, if you fight whatever, they gonna keep you. So I had to get myself good enough at least to take the medicine while I was there, and so I could get out. And my last episode I had was in 2023. So I'm on medicine now or whatever. But I want to tell y'all about this story. One time I had a spirit of fear on me so bad that I spoke to God. I said, Lord, I said, right now I got the spirit of fear on me. It feel like Satan himself is behind me. I said, and you said you don't give us the spirit of fear. So can you help me right now? Because I'm scared. And then I heard a small, still voice say, read this in your head, open your Bible. And I opened my Bible and it landed on Isaiah 41:10, and it said, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed,
Mm.
for I am your God. I will hold you up in my righteous hand." And when it said it, Quan, I was like, "Oh, he real, he real, he real." And I was like, God, that fear went off me so fast, and I went to sleep, and I woke up in peace. I was like, oh my God. So I done had a lot of episodes like that, and that's what I'm writing in my book, to explain to people how my mental breakdown was.
Oh wow. Now now I just want to go back for a moment. So I know you had said you were first. Well, I know y'all been in church all y'all life, but
Hmm.
so you were just coming into actually having a relationship and building it fully with you and God. But when you seen, I wanted to ask, when you seen the dream catcher on the wall at that time, you probably did you have like any knowledge of what that meant, or you just seen it and you was like, okay.
I was like, that's weird. Why they got a dream catcher? I knew what a dream catcher was. I was
Hmm.
like, and her boyfriend was Indian. So I knew, I was like, they doing something they don't got no business. I could feel it. And I was like,
Hmm.
why would they have a dream catcher and put me right there in the center of it or whatever? That's why I called my grandma. She called me one, I can't remember, but I just knew they was on some weird stuff. Cause she asking me all these kind of questions about God, like she couldn't find out and stuff, and like seeking my advice and getting information from me. She was just asking me a lot of stuff, and I shouldn't
Hmm.
have, entertained her. But at the time, I was just kind of confused a little bit going
Oh
through
yeah.
it. And I didn't, like I said, it was a lot of different religions coming to me, religions or whatever. And I did not know what to do. And I remember saying this to God: if you real, show me you real. I'm tired of listening to everybody or hearing about this and that. And I think he showed up.
Well, yeah, man, that's something of a situation. But I guess it's just kind of like, and when you wanted to go back to even the fact that you said that make sure who coming in and out your house, because everybody don't, just because they smiling in your face and smiling in your face don't mean that they mean you well or that they mean you good.
And
And I guess like you said, huh?
I was about to say, I used to have an issue with that, inviting everybody in my house. When I'm gonna tell the young people this, just because you got your own place for the first time or whatever, don't invite people in your house like that. It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? Everybody shouldn't be welcome in your house just because they can be wolves in sheep clothing and can be of the devil. So you got to be careful. People, some people not for you, and I had to learn it the hard way because I was just so friendly. I
Yeah.
anybody.
Yes. Yeah, it's and it's sad to say it, but it happens all the time to where people use they want to get information to see where you actually kind of stand and to see where you kind of stand and then go from that point. So and it's so crazy that people are so evil, but they really are evil. And I mean, I don't want to tell this person's story, but I was having a conversation with somebody not too long ago, and they was
Mhm.
talking about that as well too. Like I was just, this is my new neighbor. I just, let him borrow this stuff or let him borrow that stuff, and I was like, nah, I don't even trust my neighbors like that like that
Right.
now because my experience that what we experienced as kids, beside a living real talk warlock, devil in the church preaching, but worship the devil. And
Mm,
it does it, yeah, preacher, Bible,
mm,
kids. but a devil, a real true warlock, and still is participation and stuff. And old, it shouldn't be doing nothing like that. Should be repenting at this time.
Mm,
Repent and ask the Lord forgive. But that was, as kids, that was somebody that we had lived by, and they did a lot of evil stuff. And it make you not want people to come into your house, not want people in your facility. And it's not that you want to be rude, you just watch somebody else experience something that you don't want yourself, because you never know. Some people, you just don't never know. Sometimes people, what they thinking in their mind. And
what?
when people are feeling some type of way, they do start throwing stuff and throwing stuff at you. So I really do hate that, that you experienced that. But like you said, you got to know that God was truly real, and he was truly there. So now I want to ask this question. Now, did you live beside him for a long time, or was it just like a short period of time, and then y'all eventually just start talking? Like, how was it that y'all got to actually like communicate enough to actually go in their house, but them to go in yours? And I know you said you were friendly, but y'all had to have had like some kind of communication or something.
I knew both of them, because one of them was a homegirl sister, and then the other dude stayed in my neighborhood a long time. Her boyfriend stayed in my neighborhood a long time ago, and he was friends with my brothers. So I knew both of them, and so
Oh wow.
yeah, when we recognized we knew each other, that's when we started talking. But they would ask me a lot of questions about God, like they were picking my brain or something, Quan. It was crazy. And I was weak. I was real weak because, like I said, I could not eat and I could not go to sleep. So I had an insomnia, and it was like I was automatically fasting in my body. And so they was drilling me with these questions and stuff. And I was trying to answer them, but I felt weird when they was asking me the questions, because the way they would ask me the questions, it was weird. The way they would say it and everything, and I'm like, what is? But I didn't know too much about witchcraft at the moment
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I knew something weird was going on. That's when my grandma had told me to read Psalm 70 and stuff like that. And I was like, Grandma, you scaring me. Like, why are you telling me to read Psalm 70? And I read it, and I think it say, make haste to me, oh God, or something like that. I don't quite know it, remember it, but that
It's
scared
a,
me more, because I
it's
was
a
like,
70 is for deliverance.
okay, yeah. And that made me nervous though when I read it, because I was like, what's going on? It was like, with this breakdown, mental health, whatever you want to call it, illness or whatever, it
Mm-hmm.
made colors different. It made me hear voices. It made me look at the world. It was like I was in another dimension, but on Earth. And it was like, you know how it be an angel on one side and devil on the other side of, in the cartoons. That's kind
Mm-hmm.
of that's kind of how it was. Like, I can't explain it. That's why I'm writing it in a book. I can say it better in my book.
Mm-hmm. Oh
So,
wow. So it was like you felt like it was like when you wanted to do good, then evil was like present, or it was just like
no, it
speaking to you,
it
telling
wa-
you, like.
it wasn't necessarily good. Me wanting to do good or bad. It was just more like showing me different stuff. Um, when I could see when people was evil, I can see when people was good. I would talk to strangers and go up to strangers and talk to them. It was just a lot. And then I've been dealing with it for 18 years. So, I
Oh
mean,
wow.
yeah, but one of my main things is I wasn't taking my medicine like I should. And I want to tell people that medicine is important. God had doctors in the Bible. Luke was a physician, and I was in denial about taking my medicine. And now I take it faithfully, and I haven't had an episode since 2023. So I think that when it came on strong, and then not taking my medicine affected it a lot. And now I'm taking my medicine faithfully, so I'm doing way better. God is so good, and throughout it, even through the mental illness and stuff, He's still been blessing me and
Oh
everything.
yeah.
So I'm so grateful for that. He never left me or forsake me. He
Mm-hmm.
always have rams in the bush. He a great provider. He always looking out for me. So I give him all the glory. Because even though I went through that, I still wouldn't change that either, because I learned a lot and experienced a lot.
If one thing about sickness or mental health issues, if I don't believe that God just put things on us like that, but I do believe that He do give us strength to be able to walk through certain things and give us wisdom at the same time to walk out those processes, because surely that's a process. I understand that firsthand, and thank God that you're saying that about with medication, because some people demonize medication, and I'm so tired of people demonizing people that take medication, people that are getting seen about. I'm tired of them demonizing medication, and they make you believe that you don't got faith just because you take medicine. But everybody is not in the same process. Your process might be a process that God heal you immediately, and then somebody else might have to go through years until they get years of being obedient to something, and then God give them their healing. But it makes me upset, and the reason why I say it makes me so upset is because I tell Tashana's story all the time, and I'm gonna tell it now again. Tashana was a young lady. She was only 25 years old. She had just got diagnosed with a mental illness. She was schizophrenic, paranoid schizophrenic is what her diagnosis was. And Tashana was going to a church, and she was going to a church, and the church had told her to stop taking her medicine because she take medicine, she don't have faith in God.
Mm,
That's what they told her. And she stopped taking her medicine, and she stopped taking her medicine, and her episodes got worse and worse until she committed suicide with a gun. And I'm
mm.
telling it in a way because people think that that's just something to play with. That's not nothing to play with. Everybody, you might have been able to survive with not taking your medicine, but that baby, 25 years old, I'm talking about when I say a singer, a writer, poetry, and everything. And she took her life. She shot herself twice. So if you shoot yourself twice, that means that you meant to take yourself out of here. And so I always say people have to be careful and mindful when they tell people to stop taking medicine and don't take medicine, and you take medicine, that means you don't believe in God. That's a lie, and that is false teaching, and that is false doctrine, and people are risking other people's lives because they haven't even researched themselves or waited for God to give them an answer. And I'm saying that because I mean every single word that I mean of that, and that's the truth. And that young lady, Tashana, was only 25. Like, how old is, if Pastor April is 36 now, Pastor April and Tashana is the same age. So she didn't
Mm.
get to live life fully. She didn't have kids. She didn't, So that's somebody that lost a sister. Um, yeah. So,
Water, yeah.
and I always tell people that, because people, they'll say you don't have faith because you take medicine, but that's a lie. That's a lie from the pits of hell. I tell them to look at the scripture a
Luke was,
little longer, and you'll see that you got to use wisdom when you telling people certain stuff.
Luke was a
So,
anyway. Luke was in the Bible one of the disciples. He was a physician,
yeah, yep,
and
yes,
they got. I believe in natural medicine, but I also believe in the medicine that the doctors give us to a certain extent, because I've been in my right mind for 2 years taking this medicine faithfully. That's why I've been saying, you got to be careful who you listen to.
yes,
But if God was keeping me when I was out of mind, because sometimes you know how I say a thorn in your flesh, but
yes.
sufficient for me. for you or
Mhm.
whatever. That's
Yeah.
how I feel about me. Like until God say I'm healed completely, then I will, and the doctors write it off like, yeah, you good, you don't have to take this medicine. Then I will stop taking the medicine. But until then, I'm gonna keep faithfully taking the medicine, praying over my medicine, like Aunt Robin taught me to pray over my
Yeah.
medicine every night.
Yeah.
And just be glad that I'm kept in my right mind. A person told me one time, wrote me on Facebook, when I was sick, I had a whole bunch of pills in my hand and I was recording myself, but they were the
Mhm.
pills that I was supposed to take. And I took the pills or whatever, and then he wrote me, he was like, I showed my girlfriend your video, and she decided to take a whole bunch of medicine, and she killed herself. And I was like, oh my God, that was
Oh wow.
so, I was like, that wasn't my intention to make somebody do the same thing as me. But see, I wasn't in my right mind. You know what I'm saying? And I went
Oh wow.
live. Yeah, and I felt so bad about that. I was like, oh my God, I hope I went in the cause. You know what I'm saying? But it was kind of like he was blaming me for it, because he said he showed her my video. He basically was saying he was showing her how crazy I look or whatever. But she decided to take pills and she didn't make it or whatever. So I felt so bad about
Oh
it.
wow, boo.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Got to be
Yeah.
careful.
Yes. It's it's very very important. And but wow, I'm just yeah, because yeah, we can say whatever we think, but a lot of times we have to use wisdom when we are speaking things and we are saying things, because it is very very important. And I just want to say that's not true. There's nowhere in the script. You show me in the scripture where Jesus said that you don't have to take medicine, and it's everybody has their own theology of things that they believe or what they believe that the scripture's saying. And sometimes I gotta tell people, because from my own standpoint, suffer enough and
Right,
go through enough and you'll understand. But if you have not been in a place where you had to suffer, sometimes people don't understand um about medications and taking stuff like that. I'm very wise with my words. Thank God that Apostle never taught us to be against medicine. We use wisdom.
hmm
So, and look what you just said, boo. That's that is, and that is a lot to even. Well, how was you feeling when he said that to you? Like, even in the midst of.
like feeling so bad because I feel like I caused that to happen, kind of, because I went in my right mind and I went live. That's, you know what I mean. Social media, you can do a lot, and I was not in my right mind, and I was mad at my family, because they were saying I wasn't taking my medicine and I'm sick again. And so I was like, see, I'm taking my medicine. I'm taking it. And I had a good bit of pills, but they all was for me to take for real. It went like I was trying to kill myself. I was just trying to prove something to them that I'm taking it, and I was on live. And I took the medicine, and he said he showed his girlfriend, and she did the same thing, but she didn't make it. That just my feelings. I ask God to forgive me if I caused that.
Jesus, boo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
And
was
just go with what you said, that our words, even with social media and how people use social media, because it be plenty of times, a person said that wasn't on you, niece. That was the devil.
oh yes, ma'am. Mm. Well, I feel better throughout the years about it because I asked God to forgive me if it was me. But that's refreshing to know that because that that had me upset for a long time. For a long time, I was like,
Oh,
Lord. It happened in 2015. I
Oh
remember.
wow. So it's been a couple of years ago.
About 10.
Apostle said there are many who need counseling and medicine. I'm grateful for my counselor. Me too.
Yep.
I'm thankful for talking to him and talking through and unpacking, unboxing all of the boxes that were just stacked up, stacked up, stacked up. And I love one of the ladies I know, Minister Laquanza, had said that she had gave a good analogy about like when you go to therapy, and she talked about a house. And I think her therapist had asked her, where do you want to start it? You want to start in the attic or you want to start in the basement? But
Mm.
break one of those things that you got stuffed inside of your house, she had said. And I was like, dang, that's neat to unpack it like that, because it's we got boxes, we got things that we have experience. And Diane said, amen. Oh,
Hey,
oh,
mama.
yeah, there's boo boo.
Hey,
And,
mommy.
well, oh yeah, right. I had told you. Apostle said that wasn't on you, niece. That was the devil.
Yeah.
But it's just yeah. So wow. Did you want to like when you said that, how did you get to the point of realizing that I'm going to take my medicine? What had to get you there? And I'm going to take my medicine, and I'm going to make sure that I take it for sure. And I'm not going to, go back and forth with it. I got to take the medicine for right now until God say something different.
Because my last episode, what what they diagnosed me with is schizoaffective disorder. So it's a mix of schizo and bipolar or whatever. And
Hmm.
so this time it was really, 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 really bad. Like I
Hmm.
know I had throughout for 18 years, but this time it really hit me that okay, girl, you need to really take your medicine because I was busting people wonders out. I was doing all kind of stuff, fighting the police, even though I always fight the police when I'm sick. But it ain't funny, but I would fight the police. And I just was out of control and I went to jail this time, and I went to jail for a long for like for me it felt like a month I was in there, and they had me in a shoe and they was doing all kind of stuff to me. And they wanted me to take my medicine, but I noticed the medicine that they gave me looked a little different. So I feel like they was gonna poison me if I took it. So I refused to take it. So they didn't let me have no visitors. They didn't let nobody come and see me. They had hurt my fingers. They were being real cruel to me. And that was a wake up call to me because I still was sick in that process. But when I got out of there, I was like, okay, you can't keep doing this to yourself. You can't keep getting in trouble. You still got your kids to live for. You know what I'm saying? You
Yes.
you really gotta change if you want a better life, because you having these episodes throughout these years is enough. So just take the medicine. So I started off with a shot, and it got in my system, and I was going every month, and the shot was knotting up my arms. So I told the doctor, I'll be honest with my doctor about how the medicine worked for me. The medicine was good, but it was knotting up my arms and my hips, and I still got knots to this day from that. And so I asked him, can I switch to the pill? And she said, am I gonna take the medicine? I said, yes, ma'am, I got a team. I said, my kids gonna make sure I take it. And every
Hmm.
night, Layla say, mama, it's time to take your pills. And I go in there and get all my pills and take them. And I just been doing just fine. No hearing no voices, not in fear,
Amen.
you know,
Amen.
and just fine. God be the glory for that. And
Yeah.
he been blessing me, keeping me clothed in my right mind, and just opportunities like this coming my way, like how I'm on your podcast. That's a blessing to be able to tell my testimony, everything. So I'm glory be to God. I'm so grateful for my medicine and that I have the opportunity to live to take it so I can be clothed in my right mind with their help.
Oh,
You know,
oh yes.
but that's what
Oh
made
wow.
me I was I was really terrible this time in 2023. I mean, busting out people wonders corn. I mean,
Yeah.
just doing too much. I went to North Carolina and showed out. Like I had a court case up there and I'm like, oh no, girl, you better sit your tail down. Cause baby,
And that's not your nature.
yeah,
So
it's not
you
me. It's
not your nature at all. So of course knew it
right.
had to be going on to get you even to to that point. And Teresa said jail is so overcrowded with mental health people. I'm sorry that that happened to you.
Oh, tell her thank you. Yeah, that was a terrible. Oh, I can't go back there no more. And then it was crazy because one of the police officers ended up in a mental health hospital where I was at and made me take a shot, held me down. It was like the police and the crew, and then the doctors and the crew, and they gave me shots on each arm. And I'm like, how did he even get here to tell them to give me the shot? It's just weird stuff. I'm writing in a book because I don't know. It's some things that I see. I think I know I have a spiritual gift, and the things that I went through happened for a reason, so I can be able to share my story. But it was just crazy in there, Miss Teresa. Like Trick, what's her name? Miss Pickens. It was real crazy in there. I was not treated with
No officer.
huh?
She used to be a correction officer.
Oh, okay. Yes, so you know how it is. I lost
Hmm.
so much weight in there. I was not eating or nothing. Like it's gonna be in my book though one day, so y'all can read it better. But it was terrible in there, and that woke me up. Like, oh no, you cannot. You gotta take this medicine, girl, because you cannot end up going through that again.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But thank God that that experience gave you wisdom to be
Yeah.
able to understand that no, I need to take this to be able to be sane. That don't mean that you're gonna have to take it for forever, but until the doctor tell you something differently, um, being able to take it. And I thank God you in your sound mind and
And God be the glory.
yeah, like
So
it's always like this. That experience could have went a whole totally different way. You get what I'm saying? So you surely God was covering you and with you in the midst of it because it could have went a different way. Bad things could have had happened. Tragic things could have had happened actually because sometimes people are in episodes and tragic things happen. But thank God for the covering and thank God for being with you even in the process because it's
with me.
crazy.
He was with me the whole journey through. He
Mhm.
was talking to me in a still small voice and everything. And I was listening to him. I was like, okay, God with me, so I'm good. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I'm so grateful that I'm still living and
yeah.
clothed in my right mind because like my son, he dealing with it, but he on
Mhm.
medicine, taking his medicine. But when he was going through it recently, a boy punched him in the face because my son
Yeah.
was in his face and punched him in the face real hard because my son got in his face. And I was trying to explain to the people where the neighborhood I was staying in that my son got a mental illness and we trying to get him some help. I would have to call the police 24/7, call the ambulance and everything. So um but he doing better now. He's staying with my other son and he on medicine. He take a shot every 3 months. So I'm trying to break the
So
generation.
he good.
Yeah, he doing good. Like he doing real good. He got a job now and everything. So because he on that medication now. Because if he wasn't, he would still be flipping out. You know what I mean? Me and his daddy talked, and his daddy came and took him to go get the medicine and stuff like that. So I just wanted to bring